Out of all the things that you need to unlearn while growing up, this one is one of the most important, and that is when you're talking to people or communicating to somebody, pay attention to what is not being said, not to what is being said. Like recalibrate the way you interact with people. We build habits we don't even question. And I think the way we communicate with people objectively is one of the most like stupid processes, right? You're just like randomly responding to words. That's what most of us do. You take what somebody said for face value, you just pay attention to the words and you make all your decisions and judgments purely based on what the person is saying, right? And based on some unconscious triggers that you have. But like ideally, start off by looking at what is not being said. Make that the first priority, right? Like if you're like let's suppose you're interacting with your spouse and she comes home and she's like she's telling you, I don't want to cook dinner or whatever like situation that ends up being. You could probably infer that not just as feeling emotional about what she said, but looking at the situation that she probably had a long day at work and she's exhausted and she might be stressed out. So for her to say something like this, maybe I need to comfort her, right? And that's what she wants. And you can basically control or like interact with her based on that, or take advantage of her, whatever is your goal. But you get the point. Business interactions as well. Um, let's suppose I ask somebody for a sale or for doing something for me. I can pretty much guess even before I say something on how it's gonna partially play out. Most people don't even think that. They just start reading the script instead of adapting it or understanding it. Or even like take a moment to understand the person, what their objectives are, what their struggles are, what will they likely say, how can you respond to it? Most scenarios are like that. And this habit expresses itself in different ways. A lot of people I look up to have had this ability. A lot of great leaders have this ability that they can judge or they can understand their audience and be forgiving. When somebody's saying things they don't mean, or when they're acting strong when they're weak, or when they're like don't have anything productive to add, but they still keep on randomly doing stuff. Like you can judge where this person is at and then act accordingly. And objectively, that's like the best thing. And that's like the most efficient process. Saves you time, helps you make the best decisions. You don't do drama, you don't have emotional reactions, and you just like pretty much end up being the person who's paying attention and cares. Or even if that's not your goal, even if it's not care, it's just controlling things still works. So yeah, definitely consider that.